Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Zane's Other View and I'm connecting this to Miss Jade. I'm connecting this video because of what she said about how low-class black people pretty much are self-haters. If you've seen her video, which you probably did if you're looking at this, hearing and seeing what you could see on the screen, seeing how much people of any descent, usually black descent, act so disrespectful to someone who can speak well. It's shameful. And there's a few people that are going to be seeing this that are black and saying, what's your problem? She should know her place. She's black like us. What's the difference? Simple. She doesn't think of herself as a damn slave. I'm going to say this very honestly, and I know I'm going to get hit for this. But people who act like that really don't have anything else than a slave mentality. I'm sorry. If you believe that a woman or man who speaks well, who worked very hard to learn it, and she said it herself, Miss Jade said that she learned elocution lessons. For an American, that means you're going to a very good school and you're learning how to talk proper English. If it was American English, not like slang like we do in the streets, like this type of language what we talking right now, what we talking about we don't on the hood, something like that. If you're going to a good school where you have to actually talk properly, not always have to rush your words or be slow about it, but to actually be clear about what you want to say, actually think about what you want to say, and understand what's being said to someone who doesn't speak in the same type of dialect you have. I mean, there are very different shades of gray when it comes to English. There's some people who talk different when you come from Jamaica compared to someone who talks in the United States. And there's something that's a little bit different when you talk to someone from Ireland or Scotland. Of course, they have their own languages, but they have English. And there are some ways that accents are a little different. Miss Jade talks very well. I'm very happy for her that she learned this, and there's no reason she has to change the way she is. The people that need to change are the ones that saying, oh, you're Uncle Tom. And Uncle Tom, you know what basically that means? At least for me personally, what Uncle Tom means? Back long time ago when people used to have to do sharecropping in the United States, picking corn, getting corn, or doing basically picking, I'm not going to go there because I'll get upset. But you know what? When these people had to do that work, if you saw someone living in the house and working in the house and begin to talk like the person who owns the house and the land, you're considered Uncle Tom because simply you're not like one of us. You have it better than us. So you're just like the ones who treat us bad, so you're nothing but an Uncle Tom. You're just like them. Well, you know what? The thing that a lot of low-class black people don't understand, and I believe this covers in the UK as well as America, more in America, I believe, because this attitude, I believe, has spread across the entire planet. I've said this before, and I probably will connect the video from my response to Mrs. Sotomayor. I was going to connect it to Miss Jade, but I didn't feel like the videos that she was creating was... I didn't think I was doing something proper to actually connect it because there was nothing really to relay it. Not saying that she didn't do great videos, she does. But the video that I did about when a mother almost took her kid's life because he was getting on his mom's nerves, I didn't see a video that was best to connect it to. But I'll connect it to this, and I hope Miss Jade also looks at it, not to get more views on it, which I know she won't, but just to see what I was thinking of. And I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen. When you see that video and you hear what I say in it, if you understand how people do not understand what they've grown up into, that this society, it's not about black women anymore. And I know a lot of people have said black American women are the biggest problem right now in America. And it's not about black men either in America. It's about the society they grew up in. And I'm not talking about American white society. I'm talking about American black society. Because American black society is orientated only one thing: You must act a certain way to be considered black because of how we were created in this country, how our ancestors were mixed blood people now. They were pure when they first came here. They either were married into a white family or raped by someone who was white or anyone else of any ethnicity. If I'm pronouncing it properly, I'm very sorry. But you know what? Because of that, they believe that if you're ever going to be considered black, you must act a certain way. And if you try to act any other way, you're nothing. But the thing about this is that their standard is so low, and I'm saying this to any black person who lived in the hood, who says you got to act a certain way in the hood. There's certain ways you can act in your neighborhood. But you do not have to act like a person who still acts like a slave. And I'm going to say this very clearly. When a person can speak well, that means they worked hard at it. Or they come from a family that has been taught how to be able to present themselves. Not just in their holding of themselves, their intelligence, but how they speak. That means they're well. They can do well. They can understand things. They should be the people you should be emulating. Ladies and gentlemen who are black or mixed black. It makes no difference. This is the type of people you should be emulating. Not most of the time guys who are from the 1960s and 1970s and 80s who talk total slang in the streets. And most of those guys are, one, from basically jail, or two, from gangs, which also go back into the jail. Our society is almost completely riddled with most of the people that came from jail. Why guys in the United States, and I'm sure in Europe, Miss Jade, you probably seen some guys wearing their pants past their behind line, their butt cheeks. I'm sorry to say it like that. They get that from jail. They got that from American jails because originally they could not wear belts in jail because they were worried they would either try to kill someone or hang themselves. So they took that out, put it inside the gangs, and the gangs did it, and then society went with it. Our society is so bad, it makes no damn difference how much you want to be better. If you act like the society that you're brought up in, and you can see the society is wrong, and then you see someone that is rising above the attitude of this society, and you yourself say there's something wrong with this society, but that person who's doing well, who can speak well, who's wearing good clothes, who's got a good job, they're nothing but an Uncle Tom, you're the one that's causing the most damage to society. Because instead of seeing, and you already see this, that's if you do see it. If you already see there's something wrong with your society, and then you chastise the person who's doing better, then you're the one that's causing the most damage because you know better. Miss Jade speaks very well. I myself, I'm not that great of a speaker. I can speak decently well, and that's not bad for a person that is learning disabled with dyslexia. If you want to know what dyslexia is, look it up. That's a learning disability. I grew up with a learning disability. I grew up in a bad home, highly abused by both my parents and most of my family. I could have ended up like most of the guys out there in the streets. But I worked hard. I had a job before I got hurt. I tried to educate myself. I went from, when I was out of school at the age of 19, having a 6th grade reading level because of my dyslexia, I'm at the point where I can almost be considered nearly freshman in a college. Almost. My reading level's not that great, but if I ever went to college, I could probably swing maybe 1 year. As a freshman, I wouldn't do very well at it, but you know what? At least I could do it. Most of the guys I know out there don't give a damn. They just want to act stupid. They want to still act like where they came up from. They don't want to rise above it. They want to say, oh, I got to be black, so I got to still act the way I do. But if you're working and you're getting $50,000 a year in some places and you still act like that, it's not worth it. Our society, black society, being in the UK, United States, is very corrupted. And until they understand it's time to change, this society is going to go down and destroy itself. I'm saying it right now, it will destroy itself. Miss Jade should be an example. I'm not saying I'm a great example. I have a long way to go to become more better than I am. I believe I've done pretty well. But at least I notice that there's a serious problem with our society. I'm part black, I know it. And that's the reason why I don't call someone, hello my nigga. That is the first step in how you go down the road of someone who's a slave. You still use the same damn word that your ancestors were forced to use before they had to switch over to Negro. So I hope you understand what I'm saying, and I hope you enjoyed the Zane's Other View, and subscribe and comment. Understand this is still a wrestling channel. I just do this from time to time. And Miss Jade, I'm very glad that you got your new job. I'm very happy that you're working very hard, and I'm very honored to see a black woman, doesn't matter where you come from, that you worked hard to learn how to speak well and to be well. Have a good night.